Are these violent words and deeds on the left getting the attention they deserve? We're joined now by John Daniel Davidson. He's a senior correspondent for The Federalist. Thank you so much for being here. Earlier today, you wrote a piece in which one of the things you start off by saying is that left-wing student activism is beginning to creep off campus and into mainstream life. What has been that trajectory, and where do you think it's going?
Well, I think that we've seen a gradual escalation in left-wing rhetoric, but also left-wing violence, right? Starts on campus, and most things that start on campus end up in, mainstream public life. And for anybody who cares to do the research, going back over the past year and a half, there are dozens of incidences of political violence specifically against Trump supporters and Republicans by progressive Democratic activists. So, political violence at some level is something that some on the left are comfortable with. And sometimes you find a guy who's willing to go way, way too far, and that's what we had this week.
The violence really has been shocking, and I think we have the video of one of the tapes that makes me cringe every time I see it. It was a Trump supporter. He's at a protest, and he gets hit in the head, in the face, with a lock.
Yeah, this sort of thing is, we saw it through the campaign, and to be fair, we saw it on both sides, okay? You had Trump supporters sucker punching protesters at Trump rallies, and it's ugly, and it should be condemned no matter who's doing it. But let's be honest, the mainstream media treats political violence differently when it comes from the right than when it comes from the left. And I think that you see that even now in the news coverage, 48 hours after this shooting, we've moved on. The national news cycle has moved on, and the top story is Mike Pence got a lawyer. Give me a break.
Well, the other thing that we just heard from Catherine Herridge is the reporting tonight that we know that Hodgkinson was carrying around a list. So the targeting was obviously, it wasn't just Republicans in general. I mean, it was absolutely, talk about hunting congressmen. He actually had a list, and that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah, and these stories don't get the attention that they should. A lot of people don't remember the name Floyd Lee Corkins. He was the guy that stormed into the Family Research Council in 2012 with a 9mm. That's right, and he was intent on shooting as many people there as he could, and a heroic security guard stopped him, was wounded in the process, but this guy confessed that he got the idea, he was inspired by the Southern Poverty Law Center's hate map. The Southern Poverty Law Center is considered by the mainstream media and people in D.C. as a respectable organization that still has its hate map up today. You can pull it up online. So when we talk about political violence inspiring or political rhetoric inspiring violence, we don't see the same kind of coverage when it comes from the left as when it comes from the right.